Hello. Hello. Let's see. I guess this is gonna be a dry one today, folks. I had some more exciting stuff in the last session, but I deleted it. Had to because this thing goofed up and it didn't stop recording when I told it to. So that's a great that's a great piece of software that freezes up and doesn't stop when you tell it to. When you press the stop button. It's only a suggestion, right? When you tell something it has to stop immediately. That's just a kind suggestion. Let's see. The priest in the church certainly looked like the stereotype of a kind old priest. Old Jubilean priest. I guess I could have made it a female priesthood, because it's a female messiah, but, that might be too alien for this European setting, an all-female priesthood. Besides, why would there be nuns? If it's all-female to begin with, why would they need a special female section? Unless we reversed it and nuns were men. I wouldn't want that. I don't feature nuns often in my story, but when I do, they do provide some nice bit of light in the darkness, if you know what I mean. You gotta have some of that even in the darkest settings. Unless your point is for it to be as dark as possible, like a nuclear war movie or something. Just tell people that, no, this is as bad as it will be and there's no recovery. Which is probably the proper way of doing it. I'm probably not the best person to go to for stuff on nuclear war. I mean, I researched it, but I'm no expert. Kind of old priest. Yeah, short gray hair, dark blue eyes, and a long but friendly face. Nice. He was not bloodkin. Being of Belgian descent. Being of Belgian. He was not bloodkin. He was Belgian. Though with some bloodkin ancestry. The priest was somewhere in his late 50s. His name was Amadou Calhoun. Maybe that's where the name Calhoun comes from. Some mutation of the word, A lot of different variations of the name Matthew, or spellings of it at least. His name was Anu Calhoun, and he did not disguise his Belgian nature or ancestry from the Bloodkins. They probably... Did I imply Bloodkins running this church? Running church. They probably came to some Gestapo men. Probably came to talk to him at times, find out about where his loyalties laid. Wonder was sure he professed a love for his adopted fatherland. Wonder wasn't sure, but she heard at some point that the priest served in the Great War. Likely trying to repel the Bloodkin invasion. Yeah. Belgium got invaded twice by the Germans. That's very unfortunate. Wonder didn't know if he was the kind of vet who just put his head down, kept his head down, and waited for the clock for the war to run its course. Or if he was one of those hero types. Was always charging and killing and locking horns with the enemy. The cult of Mars drew in those types. Let's see, I showed a shame I had to delete that writing session because, you know, yesterday was like an action scene and today is like a quiet scene. And, you know, it's important to know how to do both. Let's see. The priest met Dr. Wonder at the entrance to the church. He was in his black cassock, not the red robe of a priest of Mars. Almost sounds like something from the future. The priest of Mars. Yeah, like that Edgar Rice Burroughs pulpy science fiction. I gotta get on that train. Someday sci-fi is gonna make a big comeback after all, and hopefully I'll be there too. Because I do have ideas for that kind of stuff. It's just I'm stuck in World War II land at the moment. The next few story ideas I have are World War II as well. Can't get complacent though. Let's see. Am I in the right? Yeah, this is the right outline. It looked like it was the other outline for a second. He was alone inside the church. So there was no need to put on a big smile for someone he actually didn't care much for. Which was the case with Dr. Wonder. The priest, Calhoun, and Amado. I keep calling him priest by accident, probably because I'm subconsciously too lazy to say that name. I can see why writers usually stick to Tom, Joe, Bill kind of names when they write stories, because they can get kind of troublesome. Usually when I have a complicated name, I use the bigger of the two names I give them, just you know, to show that I'm not a lazy swine. Even though I am a lazy swine. The priest Amado. Amado? I think that's the way you say that. Amado. A mad lad. The priest Amado had known Dr. Wonder since she was literally a baby. He was like an uncle to her when she was growing up. For years, she actually thought they were related by blood. That he was really her uncle. And he had acted that way. He even became like a father. After her own father died. Wonder's mother die? Yeah, I think she did. Childbirth, probably. Yeah, that's a depressing way for a woman to go. Not that any death isn't depressing. Even old people dying in their beds peacefully is still depressing in a way. All that lost knowledge and history, all those stories gone forever. Like taking a library and burning it down with a flamethrower. Yeah, it sucks. Even became like a father. Her own father died. But since she left, she was just a traitor. Worse off than a stranger coming to join the cult. Adao looked upon her, Wonder with great contempt. There was a brief flash of true anger in his eyes. This meeting was not unexpected. Wonder had called ahead using her contacts. Using her contacts with the cult, what remained intact. Had she shown up unannounced, some security men might have come and killed her. And tried to kill her. The cult did have the means to kill Wonder. She was not a threat to them, even with all her powers. She is not a threat to them, thanks to the power-stealing tech they had. It was like what was waiting for Wonder at Liverpool prison 3 years later. Surprise. Dr. Wonder. Adele muttered in a tone that one reserves for a true nemesis. The former leader of our cult, of our religion. I have come to take back that title. Wonder replied, which is mine by birthright. This would seem an outrageous request in just about any other organization, but it was different with the Cult of Mars. Wonder had a hereditary right to claim the leadership of the cult, and she could challenge anyone who tried to take that right or usurp for themselves. Her father it had been the same with her father. He had his share of challengers for leadership, and he buried them all. Sometimes not metaphorically. Wonder, you will have to face punishment for abandoning us, Wonder said. No, not Wonder. Said. The cult demands its pound of flesh. I understand. Of course, Wonder couldn't just come back and be in charge without any consequence. There had to be punishment. I understand, Wonder replied stoically. What's the worst pain she was ever in? Sounds like a question I would ask her. What's the worst pain you've ever been in? I think I'll leave off here, folks, just in case we get some disaster. See you later.